Hey, what's up guys? It's Star, and today we are going to talk about how you can remember who you were in your past life. Now, I know some of you do not believe in past lives, and if you are one of those people, that is more than fine, but I ask that you're respectful of those who do believe in past lives and you click out of the video. For those of you who believe you may have had a past life, chances are you probably have. Those of us who believe in past lives believe that the soul must live multiple lives in order to learn all of the lessons it needs to learn to evolve into the next form of existence. If you are one of those people who've been called an old soul, chances are you have lived a past life. If you are an indigo child or a crystal child, chances are you've probably lived a past life because crystals and indigos are advanced souls. However, if you are a rainbow child, chances are you have not lived a life here on Earth and you're actually from another form of existence. So I'm going to cover how you can remember who you were in a past life. In order to access past life memories, you have to access memories from the soul. The best way to do this is to do things that trigger an emotion in you. Emotions are some of the most powerful energies. That's why emotions are wonderful for manifesting. That's why emotions actually cause haunted houses, because when someone has an extreme emotional reaction in a house, the emotions will actually imprint as energy onto the walls, causing hauntings. So accessing your emotions that your soul has remembered, is the best way to remember your past life. How do you access past life emotions, aka memories? The best way to do it is by listening to music, smelling smells, or being places that trigger memories in your soul. Music is probably one of the best ways to remember your past life because music warrants such emotional responses. So in order to remember who you were in your past life, go throughout history and listen to the music from each era of history. Is there one era of music that really calls out to you beyond any other era of music? Is there one era of music that touches your soul more than any other kind of music? For instance, every time I hear harpsichord music, I feel homesick and my heart aches for home, and there's no logical reason why. Is there an era of music that really calls out to you and really makes you feel homesick? Whatever era that music was made in, whatever era that music was popular in, chances are that is the time you lived in. Thanks to the internet, it's extremely easy to look up music from all of the different eras and all of the different walks of life. So when you find one that really calls to you and really pulls on your heart, pay attention to that. That is probably the music you have listened to in your past life. The second best way is smells. Smells also warrant extreme emotional responses. For instance, whenever I smell my grandma, I think of Christmas dinner, I think of warm get-togethers, and every time I smell my grandma's scent, I get a warm feeling inside. That is because smells hold with it lots of emotional memories. Go to old places that call you. Go antique shopping. Smell all of the old smells. I know that's really weird, but trust me, it really helps you remember who you were in a past life. If you go to a certain building, do you have a smell that just makes you feel homesick for no reason? Go to an antique store. Is there a book you open where home just sort of hits you in the face when you open it? This could also be for random smells. Is there a certain perfume or a certain food that whenever you smell it, you feel like you're remembering something that didn't happen in this life? This could be the smell of certain ethnic food being made. This could be the smell of a perfume. This could be smell of flowers. What smells really touch your soul? And I know that's really weird, so this does take some intuition. You have to be kind of intuitive to figure out who you were in a past life. Is there certain music, certain smells that make you feel homesick for a life you have never lived? I'm speaking from personal experience with this. Obviously, it's going to be different for everybody, but one of the things that really made me realize who I was in a past life was when I looked at my childhood. So a great way to remember who you were in your past life is to look at your childhood. Was there a certain culture, a certain era, a certain time frame that really spoke to you since you were a child, that you even carried with you as an adult? The reason why the memories and the things you liked as a child is so important is because you were just freshly incarnated into this life. So your past life memories are more with you. As a child, was there an era, was there a culture, was there a place that just really called to you and that you were interested in learning about? For example, when I was a kid, I was so obsessed with Egypt. I wanted Egypt everything. I went to every exhibit that had any Egyptian mummy. I was obsessed with Egyptian culture, and it got to the point where my whole family knew my obsession with Egypt, and it was just one of my quirks. I was also very obsessed with the place Versailles. And there was no logical reason for this. For some reason, I was just very into Egyptian culture and Versailles and the building of Versailles. Actually, when I was a little kid, I would even take my sticker earrings, which were a thing in the 90s, and put them on my face like beauty marks as they did in the 1700s in Versailles, and there was no logical reason for why I was doing that. Did you have weird quirks as a kid where you wanted to dress up in a certain era, or there was a certain thing that really called to you that you wanted to reenact over and over or play pretend with over and over? Chances are that's a very good indicator of who and where you were in your past life. Now, another really good thing is, are you pulled to a certain fashion? Is there a certain fashion from a part of history that really speaks to you, that you like to incorporate in your everyday wear? This to me is a really good sign of your past life, because I actually dye my hair blonde because I like to reenact the look of powdered wigs that they wore in Versailles in the 1700s. I've always wanted a big powdered wig and I don't know why. So with your fashion, is there something you do that really isn't the fashion of today? Is it sort of a copy of the fashion of another point in history? Then chances are, if that fashion really speaks to you from that point in history, that is because you've lived a past life there. Now, another really good way to remember who you were in your past life is to get your numerology chart done. Your numerology chart is based off of your name and your birthday. In order to do this, you can go to a numerologist and they will actually be able to tell you who you were in a past life and what karma you brought over from the past life into this life. One numerologist I really like is Bridget Love. She is my friend. I use her as my numerologist, and no, she is not sponsored by me, but I just really believe in her work, and she actually was able to confirm who I was in a past life. So that's another way you can do that as well. Pretty much, in order to remember your past life, you just have to go throughout history and really try to find, is there a place that calls to you? Is there music that calls to you? Is there clothing that really calls to you and it had for a really long time, and for some reason, whenever you wear it, listen to it, smell it, you feel homesick for something you never experienced in this life? Those are very good clues about who you were in a past life. Now, if you're a rainbow child, like I said earlier in the video, you are a new soul here on Earth, and it's likely you haven't lived a life on Earth, but you've lived a life from other planets or star systems. So if you're someone who feels like they're an older soul but you're not from Earth, do you look up into the stars and kind of feel homesick for some place out there in space? Do you feel homesick for a different planet or different things that don't even exist in this world? Are you drawn to sci-fi movies and aliens? Are you drawn to the stars? Chances are you're homesick for your past life in another galaxy. Another really good way to figure out who you were in your past life is if you have natural talents in this life. Now, I know a lot of you, when I talk about talents, like to get self-deprecating and say, I don't have any talents. Well, I want you to stop that right now, because you are not different. Everybody has natural talents, and you are definitely one of those people as well. Now, really think about it. What natural talents do you have in this life? Are you someone who picked up writing really easily and you just have a flair for writing? Are you someone who's picked up music very easily and you just have a flair for music? Are you someone who did better in math and science than your peers because it just came to you easily? What can you do a little more easily than the rest of your peers? What is the thing you just have a natural flair for? Chances are, whatever that flair is, you actually mastered and did in your past life, and that's why you have a natural knack for it in this life. So that's also a really great way to figure out who you were and what you did in your past life. That's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you remember who you were in your past life, and as usual, I'll see you guys later. Bye.